Hey everybody, welcome back to our Social Work 502 Human Behavior in the Social Environment 2 class here at Widener University. Dr. Eileen McCabe-Moucher here, welcoming you back as we begin to discuss week one of our coursework here together. So in order to access your week one materials, you want to actually navigate or click on that week one course introduction, ethics, and assignment tab. And it's going to take you directly to all of our learning resources here. So embedded within that objectives, reading, and media tabs are all of the readings that we have this week, which is really encouraging you to get familiar with the DSM-5, become more familiar with the layout here. There's also a wonderful article, Mental Health and Poverty in the Inner City, that was published in Health and Social Work in the year 2013, which is a great read. You're also assigned to read Chapter 1 in your Essentials of Psychiatric Diagnoses, responding to the challenges of the DSM-5 textbook. And also embedded here within our Engage platform are two great videos. One was conducted by Dr. Ginny Folknew, who is Assistant Clinical Professor here at Widener University. She gives you some great information in regard to assessment. And then there's another video here by Dr. Rosenhan, all about being sane in insane places. So I encourage you to take your time and really peruse these readings, watch the videos, maybe take some notes about things that strike you as intriguing or that you want to know more about as you're following along. So after you complete this week learning resources, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you click on week one check-in introductions and introduce yourself here. So in order to get to know one another, I'd love for each of you to record and upload a video introduction. And your introduction should be approximately 1 to 2 minutes in length and should include the following. Describe your role, either past or present. Where have you encountered people who are diagnosed with a mental health condition? And 2, I'd like you to describe what is or was your role in the process of making a mental health diagnosis. So if you have not had a role, what would you think the challenges are of making a diagnosis? So please remember to speak slowly and clearly so that we can understand you. And I look forward to meeting all of you and watching your video introductions here on the Engage platform. I also have for you here directions that Jen Norton very generously made here, and they carefully described how to record a video using the free Screencast-O-Matic tool and uploading it to video, or to YouTube rather, which is what I'm doing right now here. So I look forward again to meeting you here in our online platform, watching your YouTube videos. So after you complete your introduction, I invite you to then click on your week one discussion, that's ethical issues in making diagnoses. And here, after reading the article by Rosenhan and the article by Anna Zwiecki, how would you describe mental illness in your own words? So you're not being asked to summarize the scholar's work or description of mental illness, really asking you to think critically and use your own words, your own experience to be able to answer this question. I'd also like you to discuss the ethical issues in making a diagnosis. So in terms of a response prompt, you want to make sure that you're following up with at least 2 classmates, preferably classmates who don't have responses yet. And in your responses to classmates, discuss how your responses are similar and or different, and what the implications of this may be to social work practice. And you're remembering that a sufficient post will be a minimum of 200 words, with some explanation expected, and a maximum of 500 words. A sufficient response or feedback post to your peers should be a minimum of 75 words and a maximum of 150 words. So I encourage you to use the discussion forum directions and grading rubric as you construct your initial post, as well as your responses to peers. So I strongly encourage you, if you haven't already done so already, just to become familiar with the rubrics here in our Engage platform, because they carefully outline the expectations and the expectations that I have when I'm grading your work. And if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me. So for your next discussion board prompt, it's about the assessment process. So after you watch Professor Ginny Folk's new video on assessment, you're going to answer 2 questions here. What did you learn from the video, and what questions do you have on what the video contains? And number 2, what from the video will you put into practice as a social worker? So this post does have response prompts required. So you want to make sure that you're following up with at least 2 classmates, again, preferably classmates that don't have responses yet. And in those responses to classmates, you're discussing how your responses are similar and or different, and what the implications of this may be for social work practice. Now for your next and final discussion prompt for this week 1, I'm going to click on the shared case here. So you want to make sure you review the Widener social work shared case, which you can access by clicking on this blue link here with the additional information that was added to it, and answer both of the following questions for your initial post. So number 1, what are your initial concerns and red flags about the family? And number 2, if you could only ask 3 questions about the case, what would they be? And I know that can be challenging, because I know many of us as social workers and future social workers are very curious, which is a wonderful quality to have as a social worker, and we're going to be able to come up with many more questions. But if you could only ask 3, what are the top 3 most pertinent and important questions that you would like to have the answers to first? So you're going to post your answers to the above questions as a reply to my instructor's initial post. So this discussion board prompt looks a little bit different than the others that you've seen. It's set up as a special Q&A forum, and it means that you're only able to reply to your instructor's posts and not create a brand new post for yourself here. So have right here the discussion board rubric embedded in. Again, I encourage you to carefully read that just to make sure that you're answering all of the questions in your post. So another critical task that you're asked to do this week is to sign up for a condition presentation. Now, the condition presentation is not actually due until week 6 on Sunday, but you need to sign up for it this week. So each student is going to sign up for a mental health condition, again, that's going to be presented in week 6, and we're also going to have a discussion board posting about this in week 7. So you're required to present the information orally in a brief PowerPoint using Screencast-O-Matic. You want to make sure that you're not using the presentation recording feature within your Microsoft PowerPoint program and using Screencast-O-Matic. So there's some really great instructions here, again, from Jen Norton, that gives you information, very detailed and straightforward information in regard to how to record the presentation using Screencast-O-Matic. So there's going to be a student A and a student B signing up for each condition. So the role for student A is to develop an overview of the condition and also find a video related to the condition. We're asking that that video be 10 minutes maximum. And the role of student B is to summarize one article related to the condition and also create a list of 3 to 5 national web sources related to the condition. So right here below is a very detailed condition presentation rubric for both student A and student B. So I encourage you to take some time and carefully read that. Let me know if you have any questions at all about the expectations for this presentation. Also embedded here within our Engage platform is the condition presentation PowerPoint template. So it's a template that you can use to complete your presentation with your partner. So everything is all there templated for you, so you know exactly what information that you need to plug into it. So again, just to revisit our week 1 assignments here, you want to make sure that you click on that sign up sheet and then choose what condition, mental health condition, that you're most interested in and sign up for that. So I look forward to seeing you interact with each other here in our online Engage platform this week. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Have a great week.